Indians. They think they're insulting us, but they don't understand that not only are we not offended, but we have also received the opportunity to be friends with one of the fastest growing countries in the world. Yes, if you see the chatter on social media, you will see Turkish people and Azerbaijani people calling Armenians Indians. And they use this term Indians as an insult towards the Armenians. Why do they do this? Why do they call Armenians Indians? Right? Well, the fact is that there are historical ties between India and Armenia going back more than 2,000 years, going back maybe more than 2,500 years. Uh, there is some kind of connection between India and Armenia. I'm not sure what it is. We know that there were some Hindu temples in Armenia 2,000 years ago, which were destroyed, and churches were built on top of them. And then those churches have recently been destroyed, and mosques have been built on top of them by the Azerbaijanis. That sort of thing. So there have been very ancient relations between India and Armenia. Uh, there is some kind of genetic affinity also between India and Armenia. I hope in the future geneticists can uncover what the deep history is. But anyway, whatever that be, the Turks and the Azerbaijanis try to insult Armenians by calling them Indians, because Armenians are not white-skinned people. They have slightly light brown skin or whatever, and that's why the Turks like to insult them by calling them Indians. And India has been supplying Armenia with weaponry, weapon systems, radars, arms, ammunition, missiles, rockets, all that, in its uh, struggle to stay independent and continue to.
Okay, so I saw this video maybe yesterday or day before yesterday. Let me quickly do a chat GPT thing. Let's try and understand if there's a connection between our Yazidis related to Armenians. Is there a connection between Yazidis and Armenians? Many Yazidis are ethnically Kurdish, particularly Kurmanji speaking. Armenians are an Indo-European ethnic group, distinct from Kurds and Yazidis, but they have lived alongside them for centuries. The Yazidi population often considered a separate ethnic group from Kurds, though some consider Yazidis a subgroup of Kurds based on shared language. Okay. Yazidis follow an ancient religion with roots in Zoroastrianism, Sufism, pre-Islamic Mesopotamian beliefs. It is unique and not Islamic, so it's not Abrahamic. Armenians are predominantly Christian, and Armenia was the first nation to adopt Christianity. Okay. Armenians have lived in close proximity for centuries, especially in eastern Anatolia and Caucasus. Okay, Yazidis in Armenia are recognized as a distinct minority. Okay. But they have shared a deep historical religious bond. Okay, so why I wanted to double check on this is because I watched a video sometime back that the Yazidis worship something called as a peacock god, and it is very closely related to the Tamil Hindu faith, the god Murugan, and Murugan's ride is a peacock. So I wonder if that could be the reason why Armenians are called as Indians by the Turkish people. But I'm not like, I need to dig a bit deeper on this, but let's put this aside, right? When I saw this video, I was a bit surprised because I remember watching a different video. So this is another Tamil YouTuber. His name is Hemant, and he does all sorts of historic Tamil history based videos, right? So now in this, he's interviewing a Tamil researcher. Let's watch what he says.
புறநானூறு பாட்டில் வந்து பாண்டிய மன்னன் இம்போர்ட்டட் வைன் குடிக்கிறதா சொல்கிறாரு. பனிப்பெண்கள் வந்து தங்க கொப்பையில் ஊற்றி குடிக்கிறத நாள்தோறும் குடிக்கிற மன்னனே அப்படின்னு பாடுற மாதிரி இருக்குது. ஔவையார் வந்து இன்னொரு பாட்டில் வீட்டில் வந்து ஒரு பொண்ணும் பையனும் லவ் பண்ணுறது தெரிஞ்சு போயிடுச்சு. அதனால பொண்ணோட அம்மா வந்து அவளை வீட்டுக்குள்ளே லாக் பண்ணிட்டு சுற்றி காவலர்கள் போட்டு கார்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க. இது எப்படி இருக்குன்னா வந்து பல நாட்டு கப்பல்லேருந்து வந்து இறங்கின வைனை வந்து வேர் ஹவுஸில் போட்டு மன்னர்கள் பாதுகாக்கிற மாதிரி பெண்ணை அடைச்சு பாதுகாத்தாங்க அப்படின்னு ஔவையார் கிண்டலா ஒரு பாடல்
ஓமையா சொல்றாங்க, ரெண்டு
ஓமையா
விஷயத்தை
சொல்றாங்க.
compare பண்ணி.
ஆனால் இதுக்கு ரியலிஸ்டிக்கலாக இதுக்கு ஹிஸ்டாரிக்கல் ப்ரூஃப் இருக்கான்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வந்து பட்டுனம்னு கேரளாவில் ஒரு சைட் இருக்குது. அந்த சைட்டில் வந்து எக்ஸ்கவேட் பண்ண அம்ஃபோரா அப்படின்பாங்க. அம்ஃபோரா வந்து வைன் எடுத்துகிட்டு வந்தார் ஜார். அது எந்தெந்த கண்ட்ரிலேருந்து வந்திருக்கு அம்ஃபோரா அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃப்ரான்ஸ், இட்டலி, கிரீஸ், அதுக்கப்புறம் ஸ்பெயின், டர்க்கி, அப்புறம் ஆர்மீனியா. இந்த நாடுகள்லேருந்து தான் வந்து வைன் இம்போர்ட் ஆயிருக்கு. ரோபர்ட்டா டொம்பர் அப்படின்றவங்க இந்த அம்ஃபோராஸை வந்து எக்ஸ்க்ளூசிவாக வந்து ஸ்டடி பண்ணுற ஒரு ஸ்காலர். அவங்க என்ன சொல்கிறாங்கன்னா தமிழ்நாட்டில் வந்து அர்மேனியன் வைனை வந்து ரொம்ப அதிக அளவில் இம்போர்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஸோ தமிழகத்தில் இருந்தவங்களுக்கு அர்மேனியன் வைன்ஸ் தான் ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்கு அப்படின்றது வந்து ஒரு ரெக்கார்டு.
டாஸ்மாக் இருக்கணுமா வேணுமான்னு பேசிட்டு இருக்க.
So what he says is, like the ancient Tamils, they used to do trade with the Romans and the Greeks, right? Like back in those days, like Tamils were really fond of Armenian wine specifically. So I have a feeling that probably we had some kind of collaboration between Armenia and the ancient Tamil. By collaboration, I mean, the intermingling or whatever. That could have been the reason why they probably became a bit darker in complexion, and which in turn could have caused the discrimination by the Turks. I'll also give you another history, right? So I've also heard from someone, I don't know, like either it was a video or maybe one of the, I don't remember exactly. So apparently in Korea, if someone is a bit darker, they make fun of him by saying you must have had Indian ancestry. And you guys probably, I'm not sure if you already know this, you guys probably, the history says that there was an ancient Tamil princess who traveled all the way to Korea, and the Koreans share like a significant part of her ancestry. Even some of the popular K-pop singers and whatnot, there's a surname. I think if you have that surname, you're a descendant of that ancestry or something like that is there. And there is a little bit of confusion between whether it's Ayodhya or it's the Ai kingdom in ancient Tamil Nadu. But considering the fact that there are like over I think 1,000 words, common words between Tamil and Korean, I think it is clear that she probably went from the ancient Tamil Nadu. And Tamils have always been dark skin, right? Like you won't find them necessarily in the northern part of India. They could be relatively darker, but they're not darker. Like we have always been a dark race, right? And that's why I think when the Columbus went to the Caribbean, like they thought they were the actual Indians. You know what I mean? Like whereas the actual Indians, and because they were dark skin, and I think later they called them West Indians or whatever, right? So it's interesting. Yeah, I hope some more research is done on this connection between Armenia and India, and whether it's because of the religion or the intermingling or whatever. Let's wait and see.